I'm on a mission to test the best-selling yarns from companies around the world, and today I'm testing the top yarns from Hobbii. I'm going to be testing the yarns for 4 different qualities. The first is the value, how much does it cost? Number 2 is color options. How many colors do they offer in this yarn? Number 3, how does it actually feel working with it with the suggested hook size? And number 4, I'm testing the availability of high quality patterns featuring that yarn. Hobbii claims to be a one-stop shop for crocheters and knitters, and they're located in Copenhagen, Denmark. The best-selling yarns do change from time to time. I purchased this yarn a couple of weeks ago, and even by today when I was checking, the top 10 yarns have changed. Now, these are all still within that range, but if you go look on the website, you're going to see that they're going to change probably by the season, maybe even change day by day and week by week. Before we get started, I wanted to share a free resource that I have for you, and that's my website, eliserosecrochet.com. There, you're going to find hundreds of blog posts featuring yarn reviews, free patterns, product testing, just to name a few. You're also going to find a Pinterest pin in every single one of the blog posts, so if you would like to save the information for later and be able to come back to it easily, you can just pin it right from my website. You'll also find links for everything in the blog post if you just like to have all of the information all in one place. I'm going to be starting with the lowest ranked yarn on the Hobbii website and working my way up to number 1. Then I'm going to rank them from my least favorite to my most favorite, and let's just get started. In last place is Hobbii Universe. This is a number 1 fingering weight yarn, and that just means it is very thin. It's 98% acrylic and 2% polyester. And all of the Hobbii yarns that I've seen so far are OECO-TEX 100 standard certified, which just means that it's been tested for all kinds of toxins and chemicals, and they're labeled as safe. The Universe yarn is a long change color gradient, and it has this gorgeous glittery fiber spun into the yarn, and it really is beautiful. It comes in 36 different colors, and the one I have here is called Sun Halo. Full price, it's $13.10. It's 3.5 ounces and 505 yards. On the Hobbii website, there is a section for customer reviews of this yarn, and there are 360 reviews with an average of 5 stars. There are also 25 different crocheting and knitting patterns featuring this yarn, and some are paid and some are free. After looking at all of the different patterns, the Dragon Scale Shawl is the one that I am picking as my favorite. This one is absolutely stunning. What's nice is that it's a one-click download. It's a totally free pattern, and she's using 3 skeins of the Cassiopeia color of the Universe yarn. One thing I noticed about the yarn right away is that the center pull is actually sticking out, and let me just say that is a pet peeve of mine when you have to stick your hand up into the center of the yarn like a turkey on Thanksgiving and you pull out all of this yarn barf. I really don't like that, so I really like this little feature right here. The label recommends a 3.5mm crochet hook, so let's get testing. What I thought was the center pull is not the center pull. Oh no. Oh, okay, thank goodness. It was just on the other side and it was super easy to find. I'm just going to do a very simple chain and then some double crochets just to test it out. I love these gorgeous sparkles. Oh wow, this is so pretty. It feels really nice to work with. It feels great in my hands. This is just beautiful. Oh my goodness. I probably would have to crochet quite a bit to get to see the color change because it did say that it was a long gradient. So I don't think I'm going to be able to see the color changes for a while, but wow, this is just so beautiful. Are you able to see that gorgeous glittery color? Wow, this is so beautiful. And it's got some nice stretch to it. Coming in at number 9 of the top 10 best-selling yarns on Hobbii is Amigo XL. This is a 100% H HB acrylic yarn. And HB stands for high bulk. On the Hobbii website, they explain that that is a production technique that uses pressure and steam applied to the yarn so that it starts to curl, which makes it a fuller yarn. It says that it results in a lighter, fluffier yarn that is more enjoyable to work with, which I've never heard of that before, so that was super interesting. It's a number 4 medium worsted weight yarn. It comes in 61 different colors, and this is color number 45, bright orange, which I don't really know why I chose that color, but apparently I did. Full price, it's $4.45 per skein. It's 1.75 ounces and 109 yards. It's double the thickness of their regular standard Amigo yarn, and this has 311 reviews with an average of 5 stars. There are 70 different crochet and knitting patterns featuring this yarn, and one of my favorites is the Heart on Crop sweater. This is a free pattern, and it says that it's a Christmas sweater, but I would wear this all fall and winter and probably the spring too. The recommended crochet hook size is a 6mm, so let's get started. Already I love that the center pull is, oh no, that's not the center pull. I keep getting tricked. I think that's the center pull, and it's not. No. Nope. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. I do not like it when it does that. I'm gonna put this back. I do not like the yarn barf. So far, this feels pretty much like most standard nice acrylic yarns, not like this super budget friendly, but this is a nice acrylic yarn. I could see this working pretty well for amigurumi or blankets. The yarn feels nice in my hands, working it pretty good. It's got some decent stitch definition, which is what I like, and it feels pretty soft for 100% acrylic yarn. Number 8 on the list of the best-selling yarns on Hobbii is Amigo. This is the DK number 3 light version of the Amigo XL that we just tested. It's also 100% HB acrylic, and remember that HB just meant high bulk, which was that pressure and steam that they use to make a fluffier yarn. It comes in 61 different colors, and this is number 25 verdigris, and this is a gorgeous green color. I love this. This yarn has 304 reviews with an average of 5 out of 5 stars. There are 80 different crochet and knitting patterns featuring this yarn, and one of my favorites is the Rainbow Rose Blanket. This one is absolutely spectacular. It's the granny squares with the roses. I just think it is beautiful. This one is a paid pattern for $3. The yarn label calls for between a 4 and a 5mm crochet hook, so let's test it out. I'm looking for the center pull, and I can tell right away there's going to be this big yarn barf, and I know I'm being just a baby about it, but I really, really don't like that, so I'm just going to pull from the outside. This is such a gorgeous color. This feels pretty standard to a 100% acrylic DK yarn, but it feels really nice. It's soft in my hands, and the thing I was a little bit worried about when I was looking at the yarn, I was worried that it would be a little bit splitty, but I'm not seeing that at all, which is nice. It has a little bit of fuzz to it, which I think is fine. I feel like the Amigo XL looked like it had a bit better stitch definition. I can grab it right here. Yeah, I do feel like it did. This is a little tiny bit fuzzier. That's okay. It's not a big deal, but it's just something that I'm noticing. Number 7 on the list is Rainbow Cotton 8/6. This is a 100% cotton, number 2 fine sport weight yarn. And if you're from the US, you may be wondering what the 8/6 means, and I really appreciate that Hobbii has a page on their website explaining what these numbers mean to us Americans. The numbers are, to keep it short, an old way of indicating the thickness of the yarn. The method may have different names depending on the country and region, but it's often called the count system. The first number, the 8, signifies the thickness of the yarn strand. And the second number, the 6, refers to the number of individual strands that are spun to make this yarn. So that means there are 6 strands of that number 8 thickness strands all spun together to create this yarn. And we're going to be testing other yarns with that classification system, so just keep that in the back of your mind when we are talking about 8/6, 8/4, and 8/8. Rainbow Cotton 8/6 comes in 56 different colors, and this is number 25 Pastel Mint. And one thing that I want to show you, which I am already loving about this yarn, is, do you see this little tag right here? It says Easy Start. This shows you exactly where the center pull is. I am so excited about that. That's something that I wish every single yarn had. It would make life so much easier. Full price, this yarn is $2.85. It's 1.75 ounces and 115 yards. There are 175 reviews of this yarn on the Hobbii website, and they average 5 out of 5 stars. And there are 100 different crochet and knitting patterns featuring this yarn. And my absolute hands down most favorite pattern featuring this yarn is a free one from Jan Schenkel of Animal Friends of Pika-Pow. And if you've ever been to my channel before, you may know that I absolutely love Jan Schenkel and all of her designs. And this is Anita Octopus. Oh my gosh, so cute. The recommended crochet hook size for this yarn is between 3 and 3.5 millimeters, so let's test it out. I love this little Easy Start tab right here. This might be my favorite thing ever. It's so wonderful. This is really pretty. I love a matte cotton. I like mercerized cotton as well, but to be honest, I prefer the matte look. Ooh, this feels so nice. If you've ever been here before, you may know that I don't use a lot of cotton because in the past it was causing a lot of issues with my hands. But oh my goodness, it's bringing back some good memories for me when I used to use cotton all the time to make amigurumi toys. Oh my goodness, look how pretty that is. You really can't beat the definition of cotton stitches. They just are so beautiful. Look at those gorgeous stitches. Oh, that is so pretty. Got a tiny, tiny little baby stretch in there. Not much, but you wouldn't expect that from cotton. But that is beautiful. I love that color too. And I love that Easy Start, the Easy Start tab. Wow. Number 6 on the top 10 list of Hobbie's best-selling yarns is Friends Cotton 8/8. And remember that system of categorizing, so this means that there are 8 strands of size 8 thickness all spun together. And that makes this a lightweight, which is a number 3 DK weight yarn, or a light worsted. Friends Cotton 8/8 comes in 66 colors, and this is color number 63, Lilac. And it also has that Easy Start tab that I love so much. There are 74 reviews of this yarn with an average of 5 out of 5 stars. There are 176 different crochet and knitting projects featuring this yarn, and one of my favorites is the Hope Market Bag. It's a free pattern, and I am a total sucker for granny squares, and one thing that I love about this pattern is that they're using the join as you go method, which is my hands down favorite way to join granny squares. The yarn label recommends between a 4mm and 4.5mm crochet hook, so let's test it out. I love that we already have this little tab, easy to pull from the center. Ooh, this does remind me of the Rainbow Cotton, just a little bit thicker since it's a different weight yarn. I was concerned looking at the yarn close up again that this might be a bit of a splitty yarn, and right now I'm not seeing any splitting happening at all. It's a beautiful matte cotton. Wow. It's quite soft. Well, there it did split just a little bit. But, I mean, that happens with a lot of different yarns. Unless it starts happening a lot, I wouldn't be super concerned about that. Ooh, that's so pretty. Look at that. Oh, that stitch definition is really beautiful. That's a very nice cotton yarn. That's very soft. Wow. I think I forgot to mention that it is $2.40 for a 1.7 ounce skein with 82 yards. We're now on to the top 5 best-selling Hobbii yarns, and this one is Friends Cotton 8/4. Oh, let me, wait, there's the label. And remember that that just means that it is 4 strands of the size 8 thickness yarn spun together. So this makes this a #1 fingering weight yarn, and it's 100% cotton. It comes in 101 different colors, and this is color number 36 Blush. Full price, it's $2.40 for a 1.75 ounce skein, and it's 174 yards. It has 152 reviews with an average of 5 out of 5 stars. There are a whopping 548 different crochet and knitting patterns featuring this yarn. One of my favorites is Melody the Mermaid, and this is a paid pattern from EMI Creations. She is adorable. The label recommends a 3 or a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, so let's test it out. I forgot to mention that it also has this easy start tab for the center pull, which I love. And this is such a beautiful color. I love it. What a pretty color. Oh my goodness. This feels really nice. I think the other one felt a tiny bit softer, maybe, and that could just be because of its thickness. But oh, I love the stitch definition of a yarn like this with these 100% cotton yarns. I think it's pretty amazing that it comes in 101 colors. Wow. Look at that beautiful stitch definition. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to compare this. I want you guys to see this difference. Where is it? Here we go. This is the difference between 100% acrylic and 100% cotton. That stitch definition really is so beautiful. And little tip right now, when you are doing amigurumi, if you can use cotton, and sometimes you can just use a cotton blend, but 100% cotton has that stitch definition that so many people want, and this really does highlight why you see your stitches so much better with cotton. It's just a less fuzzy fiber. For number 4, we're switching gears a little bit, and this is the Baby Snuggle yarn. This is a 100% polyester yarn, and it's a number 6 super bulky yarn. It comes in 34 different colors, and this is number 7 Baby Duck. How gorgeous is that color? It has 272 reviews with an average of 4.5 out of 5 stars. Full price, it's $8.80 for a 3.5 ounce skein that has 131 yards. You'll find 175 different crochet and knitting patterns featuring this yarn, but this indigo coat blew me away. I can only imagine how soft and warm this would be during the fall and winter. And yes, it's again a granny square. I love the granny squares, but this one is just so gorgeous. And it's a free download. The yarn label recommends a 7 millimeter crochet hook, so let's test it out. This one doesn't have that easy start tab, and I looked for the center pull, and it has a big, huge yarn barf in it, so I'm gonna try to take, oh no, I really don't like when the labels rip like that. Okay, this is super soft. So far, this is working well, but the real test is gonna be when we frog this, when we rip it back. That's really the best way to tell if these polyester, these chenille type yarns are any good, is when you try to frog them. These kind of yarns can always be a little bit challenging to work with, and sometimes it's easier to feel the stitches than it is to see them. So the real test is, how is it going to frog? Are we going to get any fraying? You can feel a little resistance when you first start to pull. But I'm not seeing any fraying, which is a very good sign. There's some tension there. It doesn't like being frogged, and you can see that it starts to wear a little bit there on the strands. You can actually really see it with the strand here. You can see that it gets a little bit thin after you've had to frog it back a little bit. But it didn't fray, that's a good sign. We're down to the top 3 best-selling yarns on Hobbii, and this is the Rainbow Cotton 8-4 Deluxe. It's a #1 fingering weight yarn, and it's 100% Turkish combed cotton. It comes in 66 different colors, and I have number 50, soft peach. I was curious about the word deluxe in the name, and it just means how durable this cotton is and its absorbency. It also has the Easy Start tab, which I love. Full price, it's $3.30 for a 1.75 ounce skein, and there's 186 yards. There are 109 reviews with an average of 5 out of 5 stars. You'll find 257 different crochet and knitting patterns featuring this yarn, and my favorite is Pepito Crab. I know that I'm really leaning into the amigurumi when it comes to these cotton yarns, but I just can't help myself. This one is a paid pattern, and I think he is just adorable. I love that little face, that little sour look on his face is so cute. He looks like a little grumpy crab. The recommended crochet hook size is between 2.5 millimeter and 3.5 millimeter, so let's test it out. I cannot tell you how much I love these Easy Start tabs. Oh, they just make life so much simpler. I love the matte cotton look of this already. It's just so pretty. Wow. Already, this is just a very nice cotton to work with. Very smooth, feels very nice in my hands. When I'm comparing it to the Friends cotton of the same thickness, this one I can feel is just a bit nicer. It must be a higher quality cotton, and I can definitely feel the difference. That's really beautiful. Look at that gorgeous stitch definition. It really is pretty. Now, I made a mistake right there, so that's not the yarn's fault. That was me making a mistake on that one stitch, but this is just so pretty. Oh, I love it. The second best-selling yarn on the Hobbii website is Rainbow Cotton 8/8. This is a number 3 light DK weight yarn, and it comes in 52 different colors. I have color number 42, pastel pink, and oh, it's such a pretty one. Full price, it's $2.75 for a 1.75 ounce skein, and it's 82 yards. There are 513 reviews with an average rating of 5 out of 5 stars. You'll also find 180 different crochet and knitting patterns featuring this yarn, and one of my favorites is the Fisherman's Hammock. I love this idea for yarn storage, or if you have little amigurumi toys or stuffed animals for your kids. I love this pattern. The yarn label recommends between a 3.5 millimeter and 4 millimeter crochet hook, so let's test it out. Again, I love that Easy Start tab, and I am using a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. This is such a pretty cotton. I love the matte finish on it. Wow. Look at that beautiful stitch definition. Wow, wow, wow. You can really see basically the anatomy of a double crochet stitch because the stitch definition is just so great with this yarn. Wow. It definitely doesn't have a lot of stretch. It is 100% cotton, but wow, that stitch definition is incredible. We are now at the number 1 best-selling yarn on Hobbii. And I just checked, it still is the best-selling yarn on Hobbii as of today. And that is, let's do a drum roll, Rainbow Cotton 8/4. Now this one differs from the deluxe. So there was the 8/4 deluxe. This is the 8/4 just the regular. It is also a 100% cotton. It's a number 1 fingering weight yarn. It comes in 100 colors, and this is number 46, Old Rose. Now, Rose is my middle name, and I'm feeling a little old since I'm gonna be 50 in just a couple of months, so maybe this is my color for this year. But it really is a beautiful antique dusty rose color. It's really pretty. It also has that Easy Start tab that I love. There are 1,046 reviews for this yarn with an average of 5 out of 5 stars. I don't think I've ever seen that many reviews for a yarn ever. Full price, it's $2.85 for a 1.75 ounce skein, and it's 186 yards. There are 625 different crochet and knitting patterns featuring this yarn, and one of my favorites is the Ava Cosmetic Pouch. This one is so pretty and it's a free download. One thing I really appreciate about the Hobbii website is that when you're looking at the different patterns, it shows all of the different materials that you're going to need to be able to make that particular pattern. And for the Ava Cosmetic Pouch, it even includes the zipper, which I think is really nice, especially if you want to order yarn or you want to order supplies and it's just all right there. The recommended crochet hook size is a 3.5 millimeter, so let's test out their #1 yarn. Again, we have our easy start tab. I can see why this is rated so high. This is such a nice cotton. It's not splitty at all. It's really soft, and I love this color. That is such pretty stitch definition, and it's so soft. This yarn is beautiful. After testing each one of these yarns, I have my own top 10 list, and I will say that all 10 of these yarns are good yarns. There are some great yarns in here, and there's some yarns that I don't love as much as the others. Coming in at number 10 is the Baby Snuggle, and yes, I taped the label back on because it was going to drive me nuts for it to be gone. This is a fine yarn. It's just not my favorite polyester yarn. I didn't like that I couldn't frog it back as easily as I would have liked. Number 9 is Amigo. This is a fine yarn. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a 100% acrylic yarn, great for a lot of projects. I just didn't like how fuzzy it was. Number 8, Amigo XL. I like this one a bit better than the regular Amigo because I think it has a little bit nicer stitch definition. That's it. That's the only reason it came in one place higher. Numbers 7 and up are all quite close, and I think that each one of these is a fantastic yarn. But in number 7 is the Friends Cotton 8-4. I'm just personally not as big of a fan of that super fine weight yarn. I probably wouldn't use it for a lot of things, but it's a really nice yarn. In number 6 is the Rainbow Cotton 8-4. Same reason I put the other one at number 7, the Friends version of this, and it's just because it's a little bit thinner, but they're pretty close. I just think this might be a slightly better quality cotton, maybe just a smidge. In 5th place is the Rainbow Cotton 8-6, and the reason why this one is slightly higher than the other one is just because it's a heavier weight yarn. It's a sport weight. Places 4, 3, and 2 are so close that it's almost a tie. But in 4th place is the Friends Cotton 8-8. I love this yarn. This is such a fantastic DK weight cotton. I loved working with this one. In 3rd place is the Rainbow Cotton 8-8. This is also such a gorgeous cotton yarn to work with. Yeah, it's a good one. Now in place number 2, I said I didn't like those 8-4 cotton yarns because they were too thin, but I am putting the Rainbow Cotton 8-4 Deluxe in place number 2. And the reason why is that this one is so scrumptious. It just is so soft, feels so nice in your hands. It's really good. And in place number 1 is the yarn that we started with, and that is the Hobbii Universe. Oh my goodness. This one is so much fun. This one is beautiful. The colors are absolutely spectacular. That little bit of glitter spun in there just makes it so unique. It feels gorgeous, and there is nothing I don't like about this yarn. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and make sure to let me know in the comment section if you have a favorite Hobbii yarn. We would love to know about it. But I hope you have a great rest of your week. Stay safe and happy stitching.